And welcome back to your new season of Follow We Will Legends podcast, featuring the greatest ever Rangers legends as our guests. It's Thursday evening with Stan Gordon and myself, Lynsey Glen, and boy, do we have a lot to discuss tonight. Before we get started, though, it's only right that we thank our amazing sponsors who are on board supporting the podcast, and please do check out their media and websites for information on supporting our like-minded people and supporting their businesses first and foremost. We have Milncroft Construction, Athol Solutions, the Gallant Pioneer in Blackpool, the Bluebell Bar in Tenerife, Avia Signs, EK Blinds and Shutters, Ayrshire Tree Surgeons, Mac Network Devices, Big Tam's Ices, Gartcraig Inn, Ernock Builders, Clearwater, Impact Signs and Cube Glass. Remember, folks, if you're on YouTube, give us a like and a subscribe to our show. And if you're on any of our other social media platforms, remember to like, comment and share. Please get your questions in early, as usual, for our special guests. And please welcome onto the podcast tonight, we have our sponsor from Mac Network Devices, Innes MacLeod. How are you doing, Innes?
Very well, thank you. Thanks for letting me on.
And, of course, the one and only Rangers legend, Mr. Derek Ferguson. How are you doing?
I'm not a legend.
Fergie.
Don't
doing?
even go there.
You're in my eyes.
Thanks to Innes for swapping seats. Because that was always kind of wee Durante seat, or else in this day and age, wee Charlie. So I feel comfortable in this seat. So, aye, very well. Great to see you guys back. And are you giving us a song tonight? No. Is it just talking?
Just talking tonight.
Well, I watched you, it was about a month ago.
That's
I popped
right.
into Stan's pub. You were on form.
You fair enjoyed yourself, didn't you?
Aye, can you tell?
Aye.
I'm not allowed to that much these days. So when I get out, I enjoy myself. That's for
you
sure.
must have been in good form. But good to be up back in the show again, Lynsey. And that's us up and started. But Fergie, good to have you on the show.
Is this your script you've got there?
Yes.
Right. Keep you right.
I'm actually early moon. We've got the season up and going. I was in this last night at the game.
Wining and dining.
Yes. But
were you there, Lynsey?
No.
How do you feel about the first home game coming up on Saturday? Are you quite confident after what you've seen so far?
Of course you're confident, but we're Rangers. We're going up against Livingston, a team with the lowest budget in the league. So with the signings that we've brought to the club, it's still a work in progress, as we can all kind of testify. Going back to last Saturday, obviously doing it Kelly. And then last night, nice to get the win last night. Of course, first and foremost, that was the positives. But obviously we'll touch on quite a few other things that could be improved. Yeah. So, but the main thing was winning last night. It's a tough tie. We know that, but we're more than capable, I think, of going out to Switzerland and coming away with a result. But the league form, I mean, it's so important. You know, we've already, lost 3 points. So Saturday, it is. Every game's massive, and especially the number of changes that Michael's made, and having to integrate all these different players, and try to find his best team, because again, we're going to touch in certain players as well. Hopefully you'll bring them up, aye. But it's about winning first and foremost. But I've said it before, I don't know if I've said it in this show, Stan, winning sometimes isn't enough. If you're a Rangers player, and when you're playing in front of that Rangers support, you've got to entertain, and you've got to do it for the first minute to the last minute. And we play 100 minutes now, didn't we? No, it's not even 90 minutes now. So, but it was nice to get the win. We've got a toughie on Saturday. They started that pretty well. The blueprints there, the way Kelly set up, I would imagine Davy Martindale's side. They're going to do that. Obviously, they're going to sit in. They're going to try and deny us time and space, certainly in the last third. But the calibre of player that we've got at the moment, we should be more than good enough to take care of a Livingston side.
And I spoke with yourself. What did you think last night?
Well, last night for me was very encouraging after Kilmarnock. The first 20 minutes, I thought, here we go. I said that we're starting to click. And then it just petered out a bit. I don't know if we ran out of ideas or energy, or maybe Servette, who are a decent side, as Derek said. I mean, there's no bad sides in this stage of the competition. But I did think we were on the right road. Anyway, we just lost our way a little bit in the second half. Aye. Bit disappointing at the end of it. But as Derek says, I think we'll go across to Switzerland and get a result.
I think the disappointment in the second half we became a wee bit too more narrow, try to play through the middle. We get more width, obviously. You can tell the way Michael wants to play. The width is going to come for the fullbacks. But do you know something? But that's a hell of a shift. for the onus on the boys, on Barisic. Barisic is no my cup of tea.
It's actually not a bad
He
game.
had a good game last night, a very good game offensively. But you could see it was absolutely blew a gasket the last 10 minutes. For them to play that role, that's a big ask. So as Lynsey. So I think at times the two that play behind Dessers, Danilo last night, obviously Lammers, sometimes you've got to provide a wee bit more width.
Right.
And, you know, but to sustain that, the fitness levels have got to be unbelievable. The energy levels. So I think we looked, I don't know if you would agree on this as well at times, I thought we looked a wee bit leggy, even going towards half time. So,
do you know, think, see what you're saying there, I agree with you. But I felt, well, we played 3 friendlies there, right? And we played Newcastle for the big testimonial.
Mhm.
Now, I know you've got to give everybody a chance, but there were guys getting games there that were trying to sell, but it was moving on. Even for one particular, I didn't agree with, Jack Butland hasn't had a lot of games before he came to Rangers, but he played McLaughlin in one of the games.
It's a strange one. It's
Where
a strange decision.
Butland should have been in, because he's got to get him playing games.
Yeah.
And I don't think he had picked a settled squad
you're
getting
bang
into
on.
the first games.
Because Stan, the keeper, Butland's got to get a relationship with that back four.
Exactly.
Back four, so I was always kind of brought up, you know, you get your back four, the spine of your team right. And the keeper, by the way, he's top keeper.
Oh,
you know,
I liked him.
Do you know,
I
think he brings a calmness to us? You know, his stats. I think he's got a bit of aura about him.
Yeah.
He's a couple of clean sheets. He's not had a clean sheet yet, which is strange.
But
You know,
I picked up on a lot of people talking about it in the pub, right? If you noticed at Kilmarnock, he was playing a kind of captain's role, the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
He was just shouting at everybody.
But we shouldn't be
there were
relying
no
on one
tails to it.
person.
No, exactly.
You go back in the day, you know, you go back.
Six
There was
captains.
easy, wasn't it?
Aye.
Guys, although there was a guy who was a captain, I mean, in my day, with Big Butch, Goffey, you know,
Bomber,
but then you've got Bombers, so then you start naming them all, you know, Ray Wilkins and all that.
Aye.
All these guys, all these big characters. So you need more of that. That's something that I kind of look at, you know, within that Rangers side. Who is our clear leader?
Well, I seen an interview with Soonish, but you were talking about it. It was only a couple of weeks ago there. And whoever it was interviewing had said that to me. Says, how did you get them motivated? See, we went 1-0 doing the team wasn't playing well. How did you get it across to them on the park? They said, I didn't need it.
Comes with.
He said, they had Goffies and Butchers and Bomber want to fight the other players. And he said, they sorted it out between themselves. They'd get into the dressing room and they would shout at each other. They said, that's the way it should be. But we're not doing that yet.
See, that's strange. You're talking about that's a strange decision. Well, why? Why did we not play our best player on Saturday night?
Exactly.
Why?
There was no answer.
There's no.
Was he asked? Was Michael Beale asked about that? Did he give an answer?
No,
because
he just said we've got a lot of games coming up.
Because
it was the first game of the season. There's 38 of them.
And plus, I know he said that I'm not flinging guys in that they're jailing and all that.
Yeah.
But Goldson's been out all that time and he's fired them in the last 2 games. And he doesn't play Cantwell the rest of him, and he's a fit young boy. And he was the best player in the park last night.
Lundstrom, you know, I'm not going to slag any Rangers player, you know, but he didn't have the best pre-season. You know, he started as well. Cantwell, and the pre-season has been poor. You know, and so you play your best starting 11 in your opinion, and obviously I would think Cantwell's going to be in that because it was so important to get off to a good start. But it wasn't. And listen, I've played in teams, and you can get way back. And you're talking about Graham Souness. Go back to '86. We get beat with Hibs away, but we still went on to win the league. You know, but that day there was a performance there. So there was, and that was the thing that frustrated me on Saturday night.
Sending off?
Was remember that? Oh, he was crazy. I get told with Walter that night, 'cause I was on the bench with Big Nizzy, and I get told to just watch and learn for the gaffer. You know, it was. But by the way, he took everyone out of it. By the way, anytime any Hibs player come near him, man, he just went like, "Boof, take that." By the way, he was unbelievable. But what I'm trying to get at is, although we lost that, we kind of laid down a marker. You know, and that we weren't going to be out battled, and we went on to win the league. So we did.
So Derek, see for you then as a midfielder, right? What would your preferred starting 3 be?
In the middle.
Aye.
Well, the new boys come in. Juventus, you know, I've I've been onto YouTube, I've looked at the clips of him and that, powerful lad, can get up and down the park, but he looks more as if he'd be more of a destroyer, a one that's more suited to kind of sitting. And like Ryan did last night, Ryan Jack, he did a great job last night.
He played well last night.
He played very well last night. But I think ideally, if you bring boys, you pay money for them, I would ideally like him to be the kind of sitting player. And then like Cantwell, look at Raskin.
Raskin as well.
Raskin's got more in his locker than just being a sitting player. He can get forward. He sees a pass.
I think he was good last night as well.
And he's got the energy, Lynsey, as well. So you don't want to curtail your good players. You don't want to kind of pigeonhole them and say, right, you'll just sit in front of that back four. Let them have the lead a wee bit. Let them go and express themselves, certainly, at Ibrox. So that would be my midfield three. But Ryan Jack was excellent last night, so he was different class.
So are they playing at diamond just now then with Raskin sitting at the back of the bottom of the diamond?
No, I think last night Raskin was allowed to get that further forward, and it was Ryan was allowed just to sit there, just protect a wee bit more, because you've got to remember, we're talking about the width is coming for the fullbacks. So if they take off, Raskin takes off, Cantwell, you've got to have a wee bit of protection.
So where else are we going to get a width then?
Did you think it worked last night with the midfield?
I'm worried. Derek said they played narrow, and looking at the team
In the second half, they did, Dennis.
There's
They came too narrow.
There doesn't seem to be.
But he did try to change that, didn't he? He brought the boy Simo in and try to change that, and because he's a winger at the game a bit, I would.
But he doesn't play him as a winger. He wants them to play that.
I know.
The two kind of in narrow behind Dessa.
But the only time I've seen him have decent was against Kilmarnock, the boy Sima, and he played him wide.
Mm-hmm.
And I went, that's his position. He actually looked quite comfortable against Kilmarnock. But last night, again, he was running about. It's not a position for him there.
Mm-hmm. And that's a question to be asked, because if you bring a player at a club and he's a natural wide player, why are you not playing him in that position? He's asking him to do a different job. So I thought, but that's why I thought when he's brought these guys to play this certain style of football, put them in an area that they're comfortable. And you're right, Seema, doesn't he? He looks kind of caught in between. He's not too sure. So
I thought that with Lammers as well. I'm not 100% sure where his position actually is.
He's a number 10, I think.
I thought he was sitting top of the diamond, so I thought he was. That's what I saw last night as he was there. But I mean,
but you had about 18 hoofs by the time the game started. I was sitting with you.
It was only 18. No, so it's just looking at him, and when he played against Kilmarnock, I mean, okay, the pre-season, he looked really sharp in the pre-season.
He did.
Kilmarnock, he never kicked the ball hardly. He never got any service. I thought he was out. I thought he was looking for where his position was.
I think that's where, and I'm going to use this word probably quite a lot tonight. That's the frustration. When you watch them, because they need time to build up that relationship. Know when to make your runs and that, and the little give and goes.
And who's going to be there when one goes forward and stuff like that.
I mean,
take time.
I mean, you talk about people that knew one another. I mean, I'll go away right back. David Cooper, Bobby Russell, telepathic, the two of them. The way they played. At times, when I played for a short period of time I did with Durante, I knew where Durante was going to make his runs. I knew where to find them. And that. So these guys, but that takes a bit of time. The thing is, we've not got time.
No.
I think Barisic done well last night.
Excellent.
I thought for me, he was the best man on the park. The way he was just running
put
down. His
some good
passes were
crosses
brilliant.
in.
His crossing in was fantastic.
Was
For me, he done brilliant. I know he gets a lot of criticism in that, but I really like the guy.
We Durante phoned me on Saturday after the game, and he said, "What's happened to Lundstrom?" He said, "That was our enforcer." He said, "They're not tackling now." Has he been told to play like that?
Could be. I mean, you're not allowed to tackle in this day and age, aren't you? As soon as you get near somebody.
He was the guy that we had that was. I mean, see me with that European run. He was in 100%.
I think that's
what's happened to him is if they tell him to play a different role, he's not doing that now, or is he just?
This is the thing, Stan, we're not privy to, in training. Maybe he has been told to curtail it a wee bit. But it takes away from his natural game. But in this day and age, it's so difficult. You pick up yellows for absolutely nothing.
I'm not sure he's going to get a game going forward, because that midfield
I don't think so.
It's quite busy. It's Fuentes coming
is that maybe the case? He's maybe kind of he's got the heat down a wee bit when he's seen he's bringing new players in.
Well, I thought that happened as well, because remember Hadji come on, what game was that? He kind of spat the dummy a wee bit. He chased after the boy. I thought Lynsey as well. They kind of looked a couple of players that kind of, that weren't too happy, weren't happy chappies. But that's the job of the manager. You've got to manage these situations. That's why it's so difficult, because all that squad of players, all the guys are desperate to play. So how do you keep the ones that are not happy? That's the art of management.
No.
Aye. We're just looking at the screen there as well. Where is it? It's Alex Kelly. He's put, why can't we adapt our formation to a 4-4-2?
We can, with the players, but it's Michael Beale wants to play. And I think he's quite defiant in that. I think he's going to stick to his guns, and probably quite rightly so. But the thing is, in sticking to his guns and playing that type of football, and that kind of make a wee bit more narrow. I just think it's got to be so precise, got to be so spot on. And I think sometimes you've got to have players with real good pace. I see us with good technical players, but I don't see the pace and the three up front. I mean, Dessers, he's no lightning quick.
No.
Danilo looks as if he's quick. He still needs a wee bit in him. Lammers isn't he quick?
Somebody's asked one there about where they're saying they paid $6 million in Feyenoord for Danilo. Why are they playing him on the wing? And Dessers a zero movement, as you says.
Aye, well, do you know something? I thought they started off well. See the first half hour, I thought it was good, but trying to sustain that as well. But I liked it. I think they were a wee bit kind of, I wouldn't say all over the place. The Swiss team. I just thought because they were missing a few players. Obviously, their goal at the back. I think they were missing the fullback. So there was a wee bit of lack of communication, and that's why, by the way, we took advantage of that. Because that's why Barisic, the freedom down that left-hand side, they put in some great balls.
He did.
So he did.
And I slaughtered them a couple of games before.
It's not my cup. I'll go back to that Celtic game. It was in February where he mentally he blew up. Defensively, he's still not there. He's never going to learn. But what he gives you going forward, so you talk about formations. Guys like Barisic and for me, Tav would be better as wing backs. We're back three, but I don't think Michael Beale's going to go with a back three.
Another one there, Alex Kelly saying, Derek, about the Soonest doing an interview to come back to the club. Would you love to have seen him coming back?
Of course. We talk about guys with an aura. I mean, you've been you could even talk when you were trying to interview him. You were all over the place. So he's got that about him.
I'm doing it again in Blackpool with him on a couple of months. I'm even nervous in this.
I can assure you, he doesn't bite.
No,
there it is.
No,
he's brand new.
I think he can play the line with it. No,
if you've got somebody of that stature, that aura, and if he at times is in and around the training ground, and a wee chat to the players, because the wealth of experience he's got. And it's just sometimes maybe looking, I'm talking about players that maybe no starting. If you've got somebody like him that just goes there, a wee quiet word, a wee G up, tell you what, that's worth its weight in gold, by the way. And that's how I always say it's good to have the older guys kind of run about and mixing sometimes with these players, because they tell them the way it is.
Aye. No, I agree with you.
I'm just going to change it a wee bit, right, Derek? Because we all know that football obviously runs in the family. So how's your boy Luce getting on in Italy? Stan was telling me.
He's doing all right, isn't he?
Is he?
Aye.
Is he signed for a new, is it, oh God.
Yes, and that was actually, Lynsey, they came to him at the end of the season. They wanted to speak to Bill McMurdo. Bill's his agent.
Right.
Bill's a good friend of the family. We Agent Orange, as we all know. He's a great lad, Bill. So, and they wanted to speak to Bill, and that's what it was about. They're delighted with him, not just with what he's producing on the park, the way he is off the park, what he's like run about the training ground with the rest of the guys. So
mentally as well.
So that's well,
he must get that off of Carol then,
No, definitely, definitely, honestly. And let's see, when he first went over, and it took him a wee bit of time, to break in, which is natural at times. He was, I was on the phone to him all the time. I was panicking. I would get all worried as well. You know what I'm like at times. I can be like that. He's a more mature one. I mean, he's only 23. He's telling me to calm down. He was putting me at ease. He says, and he was pretty confident. When I get my opportunity, Dad, I'm going to take it. and he's done that. But I think the biggest compliment is, and this was what Bill was when he came back to say to us, he says they speak really highly of him as a person. They really like him. He's got a great attitude to the game. He never gets too high, never gets too low. But the thing is, I tell you what, Lynsey, the lifestyle.
Is it
He has, because he FaceTimed us, was it last night? And he's just away down to the shops, but he's doing in the flip-flops and that. He's doing with wee Lake, his daughter and that, and they're just cruising. I know the area he lives in. It's a lovely area. It's just that, it's a great lifestyle. So it is.
Well, I'm going there with you, definitely.
It's honestly, and it's,
all right, Trish.
Trish.
You have absolutely no more brownie points left.
None.
Absolutely none.
and it's a beautiful city, Bologna. You know, when you get there, the airport, everything's within 10, 15 minutes to get to the stadium, to get into the city. And if you love, well, I was going to say, if you love your food, you never eat in the house, don't you know? You're always out and about, I'm here.
Never in the house.
Never in the house, I know. But the food in the restaurants are excellent. So it's a beautiful place just to go and not just have a wee holiday, but it's quite surreal that he's living there and living his life. And also, and I get into trouble with this because I say he speaks Italian fluently. I wouldn't say fluently, but he holds a conversation. You know, here's the old dafty here. I can order a beer. That's it.
A pizza. How long? What's his contract? What's his
So he's initially signed a 4-year contract. So they've given him another year and improved his money. So I think they've done that is because they're realising what he's worth to them. You know, and obviously there was a wee bit of interest for some other clubs in it. So soon as that happens, you know, they want to obviously put you on better money, put you on a longer contract. So at the end of the day, if a team comes in, you know, they can obviously ask X amount. But no, he's the thing for me is his dad, and we're talking about Carol's ma. He's just happy, and that's it.
Well,
you know,
that's the
That's
big
good.
thing.
That's
isn't
the
it?
main
you're
thing.
happy in your work, and I've got a cheek to call football work, you know, because it's a pleasure to you know, be a football player and working, play in that environment. It's no work, and I think he's got the balance right, you know. So he's got a great lifestyle and just happy, and so he's happy. We're all happy.
Well, I've seen somebody saying there and we have signed him for Rangers 2 years ago, but
Rangers never had a sniff at him.
no, I know.
You know, there was a wee sniff of the side across the city, which didn't go down too well with his two brothers. They were threatening him, by the way. Don't even think about it.
Really?
So he went, aye. And by the way, and that wasn't as a laugh. That was
No.
deadly serious.
Oh, I
the
can
two,
imagine.
when the three of them were together, obviously the oldest, Darren, you know Darren and Ross. Ross is a bouncer. You know, you don't mess with Ross. They were deadly serious. I think they sat him down and told him no.
Mind that I was right. A few years back, we were in Tenerife, me and you and Trish and Carol, and it was at New Year, and they FaceTimed you for Barry's out his back door. Right, so they're on FaceTime and he's going, they're Lewis. And he's showing Lewis is sitting in the Rangers tap and he's playing with Aberdeen. And he said, whoa, you can't do that. You see, tell your pals not to put that on social media. Oh, can you imagine that in Aberdeen? Because you get a hard time up there when you're not to watch them, didn't you?
Aye, well, you could tell when the Rangers came calling, attitudes changed, the whole atmosphere changed big time, so it is. But but it's funny because that was even last week. I think, again, he FaceTimes us most nights now, and you just saw him, I was like, what's that you've got on? You know, and it's you can see the Castor, and then you just see the RFC. You know what I mean? So listen, it's everybody knows Lewis is Rangers daft. So he is probably one of the biggest, believe it or not, Rangers supporters in the family. You know, and that's hard when you think it.
Aye, everybody's.
Aye, how we all are. You know what I mean? So.
Your wee dad wouldn't let you away with that, saying that.
So no, he's for him to go and take that opportunity, I couldn't have done it. No many people do it. There's a few Scottish boys doing it now, but back in the day, could I have done that at 22, 23? No chance. I'm still trying to grow up.
Well, that's true.
That is true.
I'd imagine Derek would have had a few offers maybe from down south as well. So would have been a
They were-
choice for him then to
They
do
were,
this?
they were mostly in the championship. But as soon as there was a few that was Lecce, and Cagliari had come in initially, and then but it was amazing. As soon as Bologna showed an interest, he went, "I'm going there." And I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I know that Hickey, the boy Hickey, was there, but as soon as he knew there was interest, he went. And because Watford, what was it? The boy Cormac, the chairman at Aberdeen, he was asking stupid money, you know. And I think there was a fee we had agreed. And it was a shaking of hands. I don't know if I should say it. I'm saying it now. I'm too far in. It was a shaking of hands. This was with Bill and a few other guys at Aberdeen. There was a $3 million valuation. It was met that he would be allowed to leave. Watford met that, but they went back in their word and they wanted more. You know, which was a disappointment at the time. But in the end up, everything happens for a reason. So instead of being at Watford, you know, and you look at the managers they've went through, you know, obviously he's ended up there. So, but Bologna, for whatever reason, I'm going there.
Just touching on Italian football there, you had the couple of boys that came to Rangers were playing in Italian football there, and the boy from Motherwell, the big centre forward, he left. Van Veen.
Is he went to Italy?
No, he was in Italy. He was in Italy before he came to Motherwell.
Was he?
Aye.
You sure?
Aye, definitely.
You done your homework?
Aye.
No.
Here we go, one of them moments, is it?
No.
If
you check, he did. Aye. But if you look at the goal ratio these guys go in Italian football, and then they can go to other clubs, the likes of, they're talking about Danilo, and they're talking about Dessers and all that kind of stuff. But they'll get a lot more goals in Scottish football.
They'll get more opportunities. When you play in a Rangers side and you're a centre forward or a striker, you know, you're going to get opportunities. That's for sure. In Italy, it's different. It's a lot more. You wouldn't believe this. The physicality in Italy is unbelievable. So as you think,
there's not a lot of goals in their games, but
no, because it's so tight and it's. Do you know when you watch Italian football? This is going to sound absolutely crazy. What I'm going to say, it looks kind of slow in the build up. It's maybe kind of quite pedestrian. But the reason I'm saying this is because when I've said to Lewis, I says, "Is it slow?" And he went, "No." He says it's actually quicker because the amount of work the sprint you have to do off the ball and on the ball, he says it's incredible. So what I'm trying to come to is, see in Scotland, we're not very good at keeping possession. If you look at a lot of the games, it's like 4 or 5 passes, the other team get possession of the ball. See in Italy, you're talking 20, 25 passes before the other team gets possession of the ball. And that's why it looks a bit slower. But in hindsight, it's actually quicker and stronger. But these guys, Dessers, Flammers, they'll get better opportunities, so they will. So you've got to
look and see.
I think there's more to come for them. I think there's more to come for them yet. See, Dessers getting that goal last night, that'll give him a boost, I think. That'll give him a bit of confidence.
Strikers do take a bit of time to bed in. I mean, you look.
Of course they do.
Coisty and Big Hately and
Big Mark Hately, that's a great example.
It was about a year before he actually, you know, and you were thinking, who is this guy? Is he going to ever score? And
it's Coisty. I was sitting in a dressing room. I don't know. I think it was a Dundee game, and Coisty had missed a number of chances in the whole stadium. Was it done? And they were like, Coisty, get to it. Honestly. But I tell you what, he showed some character. And look at the two of them, even Hately getting off to a slow start, Coisty. But look what they become. Absolute legends, didn't they? Top drawer.
Aye, no, definitely.
But the thing is, we've no got time. We've got to get these guys hitting the ground running. Right away.
Alec Kelly's put something up again, Stan. It's for you this time.
All right.
Here we go. We've not had a former Rangers player in the dressing room since Davy Weir was assistant to Mark Warburton 7 years ago. Does Derek think this is a must? 5 managers we've had since then have not addressed that. Jimmy Bell has missed 2.
Yeah, I love the idea of an ex-Ranger in that dressing room. I mean, guy that's been there, done it. My wee brother, his name's been put up there quite a number of times. There's quite a few other guys. There's a few other guys working in hospitality. You know, I sometimes think that's a bit of a waste. Get them downstairs, get them involved, get them running about the boys. That's it, because the thing is, it's like you talk about Jimmy. Jimmy Bell was brilliant, and it's that kind of, they tell you straight. They don't kind of mince their words. You know, if you've played well, they'll tell you. If you've no, they'll certainly tell you you've not played well. But it's just, it's having that influence, having that. It's the connection. And I think that's important. You've
Well,
got that connection. That's
I
a good
think-
point.
I don't think we've seen it for Alec McLeish left.
Mm.
Alec kind of brought Rangers boys round about him. I remember when we played Porto in the Champions League, and I think Bomber was the reserve manager at the time,
Right.
and me Durant was coaching the boys.
It's Durant, you know.
And
something
they went
like
like that. The 2 years are on the flight with the Rangers team,
Mhm.
and he's are going to be mixing with them. He'll be sitting in the dugout. He's have done it before.
Yeah, well,
He said, I want you there to let them know what it's all about. And they went away earning.
Guys
Well, they
like
ended up going
Durante,
for a
guys
couple
like
of pints
Durante
with
in
me.
that dress, see, guys like Durante in the dressing room, just
Aye.
let him mill about with the boys and have a. There's a time to carry on, but then there's a time to be serious. I think Durante gets that kind of. I think he gets that bang on. I
Well,
mean, he's playing his trade with Cohen at the minute.
I know.
The other Rangers.
3 draws of fun.
But that's a great point because there you go. You talk about Jimmy. Jimmy was more than a kit man.
Yeah.
So he was.
Aye.
He was on you like a ton of bricks, which is great. You need that.
I can't
Brings
really,
you down to earth.
I can't really swear too much on here, but the story you'll know it. Where I'm going to all the rooms in the hotel for the cup final, and he chaps the door, and Coisty and Mo Johnson are sharing the room, and he opens the door, and he says, "All right, Coisty, he's like, I bought a chocolate and that," and he went, "Listen, kid, any chance I could get one bar of chocolate each?" He goes, "You're a top striker. So you get 4 big bars of chocolate if you want, Coisty. You can get anything you want." And Mo says, "Can I get 2? He says, "See you big drama." He says, "Unless you score against Celtic, you're getting nothing." Walked away. That's brilliant, but.
Aye. Well, that was
Johnson.
Jimmy.
She was just laughed, you know, but be serious.
Aye.
He says, "You look at me, get a bar of chocolate to score against him." He says.
Nathan Kerr's put one on as well. Let's see what Nathan's saying. Good evening, all. Does the panel think that Beale moving on, many of the players who have serious pace to be problematic?
Well, something that's brought up and see in the modern day, pace is a must. It really is. The players that we've brought to the club, Michael's brought to the club, you can tell that they're good players, technically gifted, but they're not the quickest. And I just think at the top level, you need that pace. I think we'll get away with it for the most part in our Scottish Premiership. But when you go in Europe, I mean, once we get past Servette, and it will be difficult, we will get past them. We will see this game out next week. But then we'll be coming up against a different animal in terms of PSV, Eindhoven. And by the way, when you talk about pace, you wait to see
I'm
them.
just going to say, I think
just going
that a couple of their wingers are handy, they know.
They're more than handy. I watched them the other night. They were absolutely sensational.
Well, seeing a Rangers point of view there, what does he do there with Tavernier and Barrage? Does he tell him to defend?
I tell you what, I'm going behind the couch to watch that game, and I'll peep up every now and again.
I went out to Eindhoven last year when we put them out.
Aye.
What happened then?
We weren't expecting. I know that, but we had 2 great results against Eindhoven to get into the Champions League. And nobody expected us to do.
Bakayota and Lang, the 2 white, and De Jong through the middle. But you ought to see what they've just signed Tillman. They've took Tillman in loan for Bayern Munich. So they have, but already they've got Sangar in the middle of the part, PSV. And they've got, his name escapes me, this young boy. They are frightening, by the way. So, but it's the pace. That's what I'm trying to get, and that's what we're just talking about. Pace is a must at the highest level.
When we went last season, with 5 as we flew for Edinburgh, so we had sorted with train tickets. So you fly into Amsterdam, right? So we sorted with train tickets. So
hope you behaved yourself in Amsterdam.
Right, no, we went to Eindhoven. So we jumped down.
Good.
And we had the times for the train. So we went away down, and the guard said, your train's cancelled. I said, "You're joking, what are we going to do?" He said, "If you hurry up and you go to platform 5 or whatever it was," he said, "there's one leaving in 5 minutes, but you'll need to hurry up." So we went away up the cargo and the wags, away down, train's just done, jumps in the train, gets the cargo at the table. So we're blaring away. So about an hour and a half later, the guard came down and he goes, "Where are you going?" And we said, "Eindhoven." He goes, "You went an hour and a half the wrong way." He goes, "You're on the wrong train." He said, "Did you not notice there was nobody else on the train?" See, there was nobody in the car, nobody in the full train but us. We went up the Stoke to this bit in the middle of nowhere, right? And then that was him getting back the way. He says, "You'll need to stay on till you get back to Amsterdam."
She stayed in Amsterdam, and that's their rest the case for defence.
But does it? Does it matter when you've got a few beers on you
Well,
and you've got a
that's it,
cargo?
see, we've got a few beers.
Everything else is all right. The world's a good, innit? A good place. Doesn't matter.
But no, we managed to make it so eventually. But we played great out there. And
We did.
we're going out next week to Geneva. We're going. So
Sell out.
is it?
They've not had a sellout in
30,000.
20 odd.
I don't think it's not a big stadium, is it?
30,000.
And that's
Is
the
it?
first time I think they've had a sellout. So
And
that tells you.
And Rangers are back to, you're going flying with the team again, and they're back to it's suit it and boot it where your shirt and tie on getting on the flight, and I like that. They'd let it go for a wee while there, and I think it's better. You're representing the club, aren't you?
We've got another comment coming up there. John T. Dugan. Do you want to get that one, Stan?
Mr. Beale's going far too much on his own. He needs assistance with the scouting and dressing room. As I can see, his backroom team sit like glums. He looks lost out there in a massive job, and Graham Souness was the answer. Big mistake from Rangers not to take him on. But I don't think Souness was coming in any capacity like that. I think it was more an ambassador role he was asked to do.
But I think if you're bringing somebody of the calibre of Graham Souness, why would you not tap into his knowledge in the football side and listen to his opinion? See, Stan, I've come from a kind of background where I'll listen to anybody and everybody. So see, in the short time that I worked, and I only worked at the lower level in Scottish football, I would ask the tea woman, the kit woman, I'd even ask the fan, that was maybe standing behind me. I'd ask their opinion. And sometimes we would just pick up on something that you might have missed. And you might go like that. And you might go like that. He's right, by the way. And so you could maybe change it. So listen to everybody. You don't need to go down that kind of that thought process, but listen to people, take it on board, because you might just pick up on something. But when you've got a guy like Graham Souness, why would you know?
I think it'd be difficult to keep him away from it. I mean, if you're losing a game against Kilmarnock at half time, he's going down there. I think he would be good down there.
And that presence, that aura, and people go, is that going to make a difference? Every wee bit does make a difference.
Well, Alex Kelly's put there, Dick Advocaat recognised he needed that connection in the dressing room when he asked John Gregg.
He did.
There you go. It's clever. It's a clever thing to do. And I just think it's a no-brainer for me. And there's plenty of candidates out there. You know most of them as well. They're there. Why not get them in? Get them involved.
No, definitely.
But Graham Souness was a no-brainer. I was disappointed that never happened. But
especially when I'm retiring off of Sky now.
So
Sky.
That role that he was going to get, being an ambassador, what is that? Just being upstairs and walking about the lounges or whatever? No, get him in, get him downstairs, get him in amongst that dressing room. Obviously, no picking the team or whatever, but just to even for, there you go, Michael Beale, just to listen to something for him, he might see something different.
Training ground even.
Everything, all that sort of stuff. I think it'd have been an absolute diamond, Souness coming back to the club.
Well, who was it brought up? Somebody brought that up before. I know that. See, when players sign now, see, like they signed the new boys there, they didn't take them to Ibrox. They signed them at Murray Park. And then that was it. They signed and they went into Auchenhowie. They went in there and they signed their contract. But the big thing for a player is getting up and getting up that marble staircase and getting into the manager's office and coming down the tunnel and signing and being at Ibrox. They should get back to that and all.
Yeah, I didn't know this.
Yeah,
I thought most of the time if you're making a signing, that's the kind of process you would go through.
They said they get through the gate at Auchenhowie now and
is that right?
They signed their contract here, and I think the buzz would be taking them to Ibrox, really.
Yeah, you're right.
Definitely.
The pictures are in the reception of
the history. It's the history, and it hits you right away. And again, we talk about an aura. When you walk through the doors, you have the hairs in the back of your neck. Stand up, doesn't it? It's like,
remember Alec Ray saying when he signed him, McLeish was the manager at the time. He said they gave you a book thing like that when you signed. He said we still talked about it in here.
That's right.
It's a book thing, and it had a DVD in it telling you everything about Glasgow Rangers, for how they were founded, what trophies or who their great players were. And then it was giving you a wee booklet with the history. You see, every time you got that, your heart was pumping. I want to play.
Maybe the players will be took to the new museum then that's just been built.
There you go.
You never know.
That sort of stuff. That's
I've not been in it yet.
I saw a kind of wee on my phone, the wee guided tour. Oh, it looks sensational.
I've made history in it. I'm on the wall in a picture on the wall. I was sitting in David's seat, so I was at the game. And my face is right in the middle of the big photo. So as people were screenshotting and sending me the other night.
It's not a good thing to say on here, but me and your aunt was there last week, right? And the boy was taking him round and we're giving him the tour and we're telling him everything that's up here. And he said the UEFA Cup, Winners' Cup at Manchester, Manchester's ground when we played in Manchester. He said they've got the match ball. And me and your aunt said, what's that? And I said, oh, that's a match ball from Manchester. And your aunt said, no, it's not. I've got it in the house.
Superb.
So there's one for Danny Gorham there. Lynsey.
Right, let's see. Great show. Hope you're all well. Thanks, Danny. How you doing? Thought the game was an improvement last night from Saturday. Passed it well and closed down and countered well too. Think maybe there was a few too many touches or passes in the box. That's all. Some good football was played and looking forward to the guys gelling together as the front three are all new faces. All the best, guys. Sorry can't make it weekend. Stan got work commitments. Wee Sammy not happy with me.
If you can't come, you're just merit, Danny. You know what I mean? The goalies boy.
That's it. Married life's taking over now.
And it was an improvement for Saturday, but to be fair, it wouldn't be hard. Let's be honest.
And what's the one with Johnny Payton there? Just above there. Are we actually saying Beale probably isn't a manager, especially a Rangers calibre manager, if he needs so much help? It's okay to get advice, but the guy hasn't that mentality or personality. I think we've got to give him a chance. I'm not criticising the manager.
Well, the board, he's obviously going to get his chance, and he deserves his chance. Aye. Obviously, the relationship the boards have with him, is there.
I know what he's saying. A lot of the fans are saying he's made a coach and a manager, but that will come.
Mm-hmm. Well, you see the clips, right, even up at the training ground, and you see him, and he's still out there with his tracksuit, he's taking the training. Sometimes, and this is just my opinion, we've all got different opinions here sitting on the table. Sometimes I think as a manager, sometimes just take a wee step back, delegate, let the other coaches go on with it. Because sometimes when you're in the mix, in the midst of a coaching session, you maybe no see certain things, and that's how you just take a wee step back and you can oversee everything. But no, it's the way he wants to manage, and we've got to go with it. And listen, we've put our faith in them. It looks as if it's a slow burn at the minute, but the problem is we can't afford any more slip-ups because we can't go 4, 5, 6 points behind Celtic, or else that's done and dusted. And the league is a be-all and end-all for me.
No, exactly.
And we're already 3 points behind. So that's why there's going to be a wee bit of frustration. But are we behind them? Of course we are. But we're just looking for a wee bit better because the pre-season wasn't great. You looked at it and you're looking for. We talk about the relationships, the wee combination, playing the final third, and it's still not quite there. You could see that in the second half last night. But that's the worry for me is I don't want to see it 3-4 games down the line. I want it now. And I think that's when. And it's been his choice to let 13 out, 8, 9 come in, and that's been Michael's choice. So, but in doing that, he's got to have success, and success is points, and then it will be a bit of style.
And also the Old Firm coming up as well in a few weeks.
Aye,
do you know what I mean?
It's absolutely massive.
What about the fans? What do you think? Do you think they should be letting? How do you feel about that? Them not getting into the ground and stuff. The away fans.
I don't like it. I like getting back to the way it was before, and we get the right allocation for both sets of supporters. That's what makes it.
Mm-hmm.
So it is, and you need that. And sometimes, again, it's just a personal opinion. When you run out and it was even at Ibrox, and at times they got that whole Broomlin.
Get the fire in
that fires, but that you can use that to your advantage as well. And that's what that's what we always used to kind of. Maybe we were old school, but we used to tap into that, and vice versa. Something going to Parkhead,
I think they've lost a lot of the atmosphere at the Old Firm games now with the opposing fans. I don't know anybody that wouldn't have them there, and to score against them, having them there is even better.
It's a daft thing that we can enjoy getting abuse, getting shouted at, getting called this and that. That riles you up.
I know.
That gets you going, and sometimes you need that. Aye. And that's for your own players.
I know where you're coming from, but I think at the end up there, before there were no fans going to Celtic Park or Ibrox. It was getting to the stage you were going to Celtic Park and they were wanting you there 2.5 hours before kick-off. You were going to that the Velodrome thing across the road, and they were meeting there, and they were marching you out of the game, and they were keeping you back an hour after the game before you were getting back out, and they were just sitting, you take you through all that, you know what I mean?
There's a wee bit of tit for tat to both sides, isn't there?
But when years ago, you go back when you played that, or when you went and watched Rangers, you get away back yourself, and it's away back.
You get a whole Rangers in.
But Rangers had, I mind years and years away back in the 70s. Rangers had the full Rangers end at Parkhead, and they had a quarter of the jungle, and then they had a bit of the main stand at that time.
I've been to Parkhead once, and I get an unrestricted view, and I never went back.
It's not the best now, but years ago,
it's no ideal. Of course, it's no. You know, but
even at Ibrox, they used to get a bit of the enclosure, the west enclosure. They would get the Celtic end and a bit of the centenary stand, you know.
I used to sit in the west enclosure, so I did, right at the corner flag.
Movie for the old film,
No, they were that. It was just the fans were just so close, and see the buzz you used to get. It was great. See the Celtic and Aberdeen games; they were just the best games for me growing up. I loved it.
Christ, see, you just says that about the Celtic game. It's just the horizon, isn't it? It's coming up quite quickly.
It is. There's a couple of weeks in it.
Well, thank
Beginning of
some
September.
games though. Before that, you know.
Well, you've got a big one coming up. It's a hard one. It'll be Ross County away.
Listen, and by the way, they were decent, you know, against Celtic. So they were. Again, I just watched the highlights and that. So, they've brought in quite a number of players, but it's always hard at this stage. Everybody's going to be up for Rangers coming into their own patch. So, but we've got to have this philosophy where we're going to be playing this fast, free-flowing football, but at times you need that physicality as well, you know. And by the way, it's not a bad time to go up to Dingwall. You know, you go another few months down the line when it's in the midst of the winter and all that. It's horrible. See, we've got all this stuff to contend with.
You've not watched any of the football, but you've been up there.
We're in Dingwall.
Aye.
Well, from Stornoway, it's the first part.
That's your home game, isn't it? That's your home game for you, aye.
Stornoway empties to Dingwall.
But, even Inverness, Cali. I remember we Alec Ray. You've done Rangers TV. You've done it
away back in the day.
And it was with Tom Muller then Rangers TV when we were playing Inverness, Cali away from him, and Tom Muller's going, "Oh, it's cold up here, Alec." They're in the crowd for Ibrox.
Aye, I know.
Oh, the crowd's singing Melody Day. They sit in the Ibrox.
He does well, wee Tom, doesn't he? He's good at that. So,
a lot of the fans don't know that they're actually Ibrox commentating on the game, you know.
It's freezing. Derek, we've had great goalkeepers over the years. Do you think Butland will be good for us?
Aye. Oh, you can see it. Just we were talking earlier, the stature, the kind of aura. Anything that he's had to deal with so far, he's made it look comfortable. Even last night, although they were comfortable saves, he's a top goalkeeper, by the way. I was talking to somebody the day that knew him a way back in the day when he was a 15, 16-year-old, and even then they knew he was going to be a top goalkeeper. Kind of curtailed a wee bit, you know. But no, it just, do you know how he just looks the part?
I think
so. He's a communicator as well. You're going to hear him on that park.
And also, and I'm talking about that, I think he looks as if he brings a calmness as well, which sometimes you need, doesn't
he?
Very
easy on the eye.
I knew that. Sure. Is that what you've got? Aye. No, he's a good-looking big chappy, isn't he? But no, he's
very easy on the eye.
He looks like a captain. You know, and I know a lot of people don't like a keeper as being a captain, but I mean, when you talk about keeper, Dino's off, and he was a Italy goalie, but he looks like a captain to me, so he does.
Aye, he's got that presence about him,
isn't he? Aye, but no, he's been a good signing.
What about Stornoway then? We spoke about it now in there, and we spoke about it last night there. Having a wee do for Ronnie McKinnon and the Rangers club.
Ronnie's been living up there now for a number of years, and he's been great for the club up there. Every trip that comes up, Ronnie's there. He's a great ambassador. His health isn't the greatest as it can be at the moment, so yeah, they're having a wee night for him, and a wee bit of fundraiser for him there, and it's good to see Alan McDonald coming up as well. He was talking to me last night
I
about
love
it.
Alec McDonald.
Wee Doddy's coming up, and of course your auntie's coming up.
They'll need to get another 4 case of gin
Aye.
for the wee man.
But the problem is he's trying to get him away from the island after they do. So yeah, it'd be good. I think it's the 15th. So
It's that's the biggest club in the world.
yeah,
Stornoway Rangers Supporters Club.
yeah.
Been up a couple of times.
So over 1,000.
Oh, you've been up with? You've been?
Hospitality is amazing. So it is.
Yeah.
I think the last time I was up, I came away with the old black pudding as well. Few
Stornoway
steaks.
Black
Aye.
Pudding. You can't beat that, can you?
Tremendous. So it is. Aye.
Every time I come down there, I'm going to bring about 14 rolls of this stuff. You get behind your post like that, right? What is this?
Alec McDonald, you should tell us a wee quick one. Remember we were going to that gig down in Ayrshire?
Oh,
And
brilliant.
we went to pick him up
Brilliant.
and he didn't even know.
No, he's no way. The reality of age he is now, wee Doddy. Where were we going to Kilwinning?
Aye.
The threes are going to Kilwinning. She says, where have we to get a wee man? I said, to get him like,
Hillside, Kirkentiller.
Kirkentiller Rangers Supporters Club. So us two's driving up. And I said, I think that's it down there. So we went to turn the motor.
So I missed the turn.
Aye.
So I went further up and as I've turned to come back down,
He's walked up.
we see Alec, right? So we stopped saying, right, hey man, Alec, get yourself into the back of the motor. So he jumps in the back and he's like, where are we going? He says, we've got a gig. And he went like that. He says, oh, no. And Alec was like, no, the gig's on Saturday night. Stan's going, no, it's the night. But I just, and Stan went like that to me, just go. Didn't we? So we just took it in. But his, but his daughter was coming up for her dinner and her boyfriend, and we've just went like that because we needed to take him. Aye, we did. We hijacked.
The phone is his daughter and say, look, don't come down, I can't make it. They said they've been hijacked in a car. They see when we stopped, I said, oh, there he's there, and I waved, and he's waving in the motor. And you can see him going,
What are they doing here?
I put the window down. Where are you going? So we're up to get you.
Aye, so
We're getting him earlier.
He's
We'll
Stornoway, aye, so
we'll get John McCormick there. If the mob beat us at Ibrox, I think Beale could be away.
Oh,
It's a bit early yet.
definitely not.
It's a bit early for that, Corey, honestly.
What have we
I think
got? 10, 11 new players?
aye.
Something like that.
Aye, and it is, as I say, that's the frustration. It's going to take a wee bit of time to bed them all, and but it's ridiculous to think about even going down that route. You know, there's a lot of hard work over the next number of weeks. You know, on the training field, that's for sure. You know, but the players that we've got good players. He's brought good players in. It does take a wee bit of time to settle, and that's not just out in the park. That's the relationship you have in the dressing room, because you got to remember. Is it no that wee Yilmaz is disappointed that Sakala's away because they travelled in and they travelled in and out to training. So there's wee quirky things like that. You know, and sometimes when I've played at certain clubs, not just at Rangers, I've played a number of clubs. Sometimes I was gutted to see my pal, you know, walking out the door, you know, I've been told to go. So
and it happens
can
in
affect
doesn't
you.
it?
Affect your emotions a wee bit.
It's not like people going to a normal job that you're seeing the guys 39 hours a week or whatever it is, and you're expecting them to be there for years. Football people move on, don't they?
Aye.
Especially in
It's the nature of the beast,
this
aye.
new, you don't get guys staying. I mean, I liked wee Sakala as a guy.
Well, I was going to say that, Stan, because you mentioned Sakala and what we're talking about maybe not having width and pace. What do you think about Sakala?
Well,
Even
he couldn't trap a beach ball, right? Be honest. But he gave you 100%. See, likes a game like that last night, and they're down to 10 men.
It does
And,
something. It's half the cuff.
And he's running down that wing.
Aye.
He could damage teams. Aye. I mean, she when we beat
Ted McMahon.
she when we beat
Ted
Celtic
is
3-0 there at the end of the season there.
Yes.
See the one when he's put it around the goalie. See if you watch that, you look at the Rangers end and they're all going, oh, because it doesn't look up
for very good
and they went
reason.
in me about that. But it's and they didn't look up. They just went.
We get he wasn't the most technically gifted, but what he did, he played with a smile, played with an energy.
Oh,
and sometimes
you brought that wee bit of entertainment to the game.
But not even that entertainment. That kind of people don't know what he's going to do. Sometimes you need a wee bit of that. And you're talking about misses, and he has missed. Well, look at Lammers last night. Lammers puts that one in. We go 3-0 up.
Aye.
We win. We go on to win that 4-5 easy. So, so there's fine lines. And that was a fine line last night. That's how they've got a bit of hope. But we're too quick. We're too quick, I think, to judge. And you look at him as, I mean, his stats were good, but is he an out-and-out goal scorer? No, because I don't think he was technically that great. But what he gave you was the energy and the pace and something different. And you're right, Innes, we've not got that.
And dragging defenders out the road as well, because they don't know what he's going to do.
Exactly. Because you don't, a frustrating player, but he had the pace to burn.
Yeah.
And when we did beat Celtic with him, and I don't know, nobody of them at the club, Matondo, but the two of them with pace worked at Celtic. And Bill got it exactly right. Played day too wide, and when doing in Celtic, didn't know how to cope with it.
But the manager doesn't want that. He's brought a certain type, and he's going to go with that. So that's why we've got to back him. You know,
definitely, and hope it clicks.
Aye.
Right, Stan, have you got any gigs coming up?
Aye, I was just saying.
He's got huddles.
I don't know if it's a bad thing. Ricky, you might be here another half an hour.
I've got, believe it or not, Alfie Con's doing one in the Segton in the 18th of this month. And he's got Wally Johnson, Colin Steen, Alec McDonald, Dave Smith, Big Peter McCloy. And his wife died a couple of years ago, Alfie's wife, and she died with motor neurons disease, the same as with Fernando. So I'm going to go up and I'm doing half the gig for him, and Bobby Tate's doing the other half.
Big Peter's gone. I saw Big Peter McCloy.
No, I didn't gig in East Kilbride.
I used to take a few whacks off him. He used to punch me. He used
Is that right?
Oh, God.
Big gentleman, Derek. No?
Oh, he was, but we used to annoy the hell out of him. And Big Peter just, he just used to smash you.
I think he's got it store now as well.
Is he? He's a good lad. He's all right. Big
Brilliant.
Peter,
They're all brilliant, all the guys. I mean, they're all real characters.
I done one.
But dead down to earth. That's what I'm saying. These guys are true legends. But when you sit at the same table with them, you're sharing a pint. They're just so down to earth, and it's mad. So
I done one in East Kilbride with Big Peter, Bud and Steenie, right? That's brilliant, honestly, right? There's about 200 items of dinner. So we sat down and I goes up and I says, thanks very much for the invite to the West Calder Rangers Supporters Club. It's a privilege to be here. And the boy goes, we're the East Calder. We don't go with them. They're booing me. I goes, and see, I looked to him, we had the big flag.
Is he still claiming that assist in Barcelona?
Aye. But no, you're right. They're good. So I've got that. I'm going to go there for raise money for Newton Motor Neurons disease. And then we've got Benidorm September. You're going, Lynsey. Got that in September. Blackpool as soon as.
All the best.
I know. I'll be all right this time. I'm not going to go with pouring wine into me this time. We'll be all right. But no, aye. What about yourself, Lynsey?
Coatbridge on Saturday, and that's me in September. Now I've obviously cut back a lot, taking some time out and stuff. So I'm in Larkhall in September, the middle of September.
Where in Larkhall?
I'll tell you later.
What night is it? Is it a Friday, Saturday?
I think it's Saturday night, the 16th.
All right, well, I'll be coming along.
There you go.
Aye.
Well, you'll be going to Larkhall on Saturday. There's a festival on Saturday.
There is, aye. So they're saying restricted parking and all that, so...
That'll not bother you.
Larkhall's a lovely wee place.
What
date is that in September?
16th.
Oh, I'll be there.
There you go.
Oh, that's it. I'm in. So am I.
Right, folks, I think that's all we've got time for tonight. Thanks for joining us tonight and Follow We Will Legends podcast. If you would like to be a sponsor of our podcast and appear on one of our next shows, get in touch with Stan or myself. Also, remember to get involved, folks, by subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking our social media pages, Follow We Will Legends podcast. A huge thank you to our guests, Derek and Innes, this evening. Thanks very much for coming on and entertaining our viewers as well. Thanks a lot. And also, once again, to Ricky behind the scenes, who does all the work, the digital work for us, the podcast rooms, for all your hard work, Ricky. Thank you. From all us here at Follow We Will. I know. Look at it. I know. He's taking a beamer up there. From all of us here at Follow We Will Legends podcast, good night and God bless.
Good night.
Good night.